Hey everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Chris Lee Kennedy, and this is a show where we bring you the day's biggest movie news, and of course we give you insight into what it all means. Joining me as always is AMC Movie News Senior Editor, Mr. John Campea.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the show, coming to you from the Stream.TV studios here in Hollywood, California. And it is that time again for another episode of Life Lessons with John. You know, some of you may have noticed I wasn't here yesterday, and that is tied in, actually, coincidentally, with my life lesson today. I wish we had theme music for this segment. Here's my life lesson for today. When visiting a restaurant you have never been to before, never say these words. I don't know what that meat is, but it looks really good. I'll have that. Never, ever say that.
We also have joining us our AMC Movie News production manager, Mr. Dennis Sen.
I don't have any life lessons for you, but I did see Wolf of Wall Street last night, and it was awesome, and I loved it.
Jealous. And our very own AMC Movie News editor, Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach.
Hello again. 3 days in a row. I might have to tell my parents about us.
Not only is it that time again for John's life lessons, but it's also that time again for the SAG Awards, the nominations for the 71st annual Golden Globe Awards. The nominations for the 71st annual Golden Globes were announced this morning. The nominees for Best Picture in a Drama included 12 Years a Slave, Captain Phillips, Gravity, Philomena, and Rush. For Best Picture in a Musical or Comedy, we have American Hustle, Her, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, and The Wolf of Wall Street. For Best Actor in a Drama, we have Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave, Idris Elba for Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom, Tom Hanks in Captain Phillips, Matthew McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club, and Robert Redford for All Is Lost. For Best Actress in a Drama, Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock, Gravity, Judi Dench, Philomena, Emma Thompson, Saving Mr. Banks, Kate Winslet, Labor Day. For Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy, Christian Bale, American Hustle, Bruce Dern, Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street, Oscar Isaac, Inside Llewyn Davis, and Joaquin Phoenix, Her. For Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, Amy Adams, American Hustle, Julie Delpy, Before Midnight, Greta Gerwig, Frances Ha, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Enough Said, and Meryl Streep for August, Osage County. Best Supporting Actor, Barkhad Abdi in Captain Phillips, Daniel Bruhl, Rush, Bradley Cooper, American Hustle, Michael Fassbender, 12 Years a Slave, and Jared Leto, Dallas Buyers Club. For Best Supporting Actress, Sally Hawkins, Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence for American Hustle, Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave, Julia Roberts for August, Osage County, and June Squibb in Nebraska. Guys, what categories stand out to you, and who are your picks for the winners?
Just to make sure we're above board here, and I don't want to come across as being disingenuous, as I tweeted this morning, the Golden Globes are the award season version of Kim Kardashian. Famous for being famous without any real legitimacy behind them. The Golden Globes are basically a joke, but they're a fun show, and this brings up a great opportunity for discussing this type of stuff, so we'll discuss it. For me, the Best Picture drama, for me it's still 12 Years a Slave. I was emotionally ripped apart by it. I was completely transported in the era. The performances were all magnificent. Some really good films on here. Big fan of Captain Phillips, a number of the movies, but for me it's 12 Years a Slave. Personally, what do you guys think?
I saw all these movies except for Philomena. I was curious, I didn't understand why Rush is on here. I saw Rush, I liked it. I don't know why it's on the Best Picture category. I mean, I guess maybe because it's the foreign press and they love car racing and it's a subject.
And Daniel Bruhl.
Yeah, Daniel Bruhl, and it's something they really like. But it was a good movie. I just never thought it was Best Picture quality. And also you have the absence of a movie like Mud, which I thought was one of the best movies of the year, but I guess it maybe doesn't translate to the international audience. They probably just don't get it.
Yeah.
Hey, Rose?
Yeah, I definitely, out of this list, 12 Years a Slave, I mean, what Steve McQueen does to me emotionally is just, it's just so powerful. I was literally paralyzed after. The performances, the shots, the sequence, everything about it was a work of art. It's not a film I'd like to see again because it just
one of those
stole
movies.
my heart. But for everything, all elements put together, I mean, I just think he's such a brilliant filmmaker saying something. You know, Gravity for the effects and for Alfonso and his DP and his whole team, sound and light, and I mean, it is a stunning cinematic achievement, but I think it lacked a little bit in the story department for me. So taking all things into consideration, I would go 12 years out of the ones here as well. I kind of agree with Rush. I thought it was a good film. But I thought the performances were better than the film itself. I thought it was cool, you know, the narration that Ron Howard did and everything, and I love those kind of movies. But I think Daniel Bruhl really deserves to be nominated. But as Best Picture, I was kind of surprised.
I was surprised.
Well. Yeah.
I had forgotten I had seen the movie.
Yeah, and I've heard great things about Philomena, but I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
This is a good actually point to bring up something that Dennis was referring to. You're talking about the international audience, which really does highlight what is different about the Golden Globes from something like the Oscars. Yeah. And it actually kind of goes to why I think the Golden Globes are a bit of a joke. But, you know, whereas you have the Academy Awards, the Oscars, or the Broadcast Film Critics Society, but let's stick with the Oscars for now. 6,000 to 7,000 voting members, all of which are actors, writers, production designers, studio people, movie journalists, who are in one form or another artistically or professionally involved in the film industry, 6,000 of them voting on the Academy Awards. The Golden Globes, I may have the specific number wrong, but the last time I checked, the Golden Globes is voted on by 72 people who are movie journalists who live in Hollywood but work for foreign publications. Let me say that again. They are film journalists and film critics who live in Hollywood but work for foreign publications. That's what the Golden Globes are. And that's why it's so relevant, actually, when you brought up, and I'm glad you brought it up, that maybe Mud didn't appeal to the international audience, because really that's what the Golden Globes is. It's really more the international perspective, looking at it from 72 film journalists who just so happen to live in Hollywood.
And sometimes they just want certain actors or actresses present.
At their party.
Let's discuss Angelina Jolie for Salt. Was that really a performance?
Angelina Jolie for
Johnny Depp for
and Johnny Depp for
The Tourist. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean, when it was like one of the most critically slammed films of the year, but we want Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp at our party, so we do that. But anyway, it's still a fun thing to discuss.
And I agree on Mud. That's one of my favorite films of the year.
Yeah. So, but let's go on to we're going to try to run down through these quickly. Let's talk about for Best Picture, Musical or Comedy, one of the biggest jokes in all of awards season, because some of the things that they have called musicals or comedies over the year make no sense. But we got American Hustle, which certainly had some funny moments.
It's funny.
It's funny moments.
Yeah.
It's not a comedy.
It's not a comedy, but it's funny.
But Her, Inside Llewyn Davis, Nebraska, Wolf of Wall Street. For me, Wolf of Wall Street takes this one with a very close for me would be Her, but Wolf of Wall Street for me. What about you guys?
I haven't actually seen all these except for Wolf of Wall Street, because most of these haven't come out yet, you know, either only in limited or just press screenings, and I was only fortunate enough to see the Wolf of Wall Street, which, even though it sounds odd that it's in the comedy category, if you see it, you'll know why.
It's funny.
Like,
it's a funny film.
Yeah, the screening I saw it at, like, people were just laughing the whole time. I mean, there is a darker side to it that comes later in the movie, but the first 2/3, people are just like, you know. So I understand why it's there, and I guess I'd have to choose that just because I haven't seen the other ones.
I haven't seen Her. That's like on my most anticipated film. I just heard it's fantastic. I haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street either. I feel like I've done a really good job at seeing most of the films this year, but there's a couple that I still haven't. So out of that list, I mean, it's hard to speak to it. American Hustle, it's not a comedy, but I was laughing a lot of the film. I mean, that's what, you know, David O. Russell does. His characters are so memorable and relatable, but also really far-fetched, and they're just really comedic. So I don't know. That's a hard category for me to have a shoe in, and I do think it's funny. First of all, none of these are musicals.
well, Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah. Is a musical?
No, but it has
Frozen's a musical.
Has a couple of songs in it.
Yeah,
so I know
they
really
music.
stretch.
Yeah,
they
that's
really
a stretch.
All right, let's run through these. For Best Actor in a Drama, for whatever reason, the Golden Globes differentiate Best Actor Drama and Best Actor Musical or Comedy, but they do not differentiate for Best Supporting Actor. They just have Best Supporting Actor for either, and Best Supporting
so
Actress.
bizarre.
Weird, but anyway. For Best Actor in a Drama, Chiwetel Ejiofor for Idris Elba for Mandela: Long Walk to Freedom, Tom Hanks, Captain Phillips, Matthew McConaughey, Robert Redford. To me, it's close, but it's Chiwetel Ejiofor. I have said for 5 years, most underrated, underappreciated actor in Hollywood. This is going to finally put him up on that pedestal. He will have his Academy Award moment this year, so my pick would be Chiwetel.
You're predicting?
For Oscars,
He's gonna win?
Yeah, I think he's going to win for the Oscar. I'm not going to say shoe-in, but that would be definitely my pick.
I think this is the most difficult race for Oscars. Yes, we're talking Gold Globes right now, but I think best performance for both male in the supporting and leading categories is the most, like, it has been such a powerful year for cinema, and those are the performances. I think it's much easier to predict for the female categories because I didn't see as many that I was blown away by, but like this list, Chiwetel, wow. The kind of emotional depth he brought to that broke my heart. Tom Hanks, if you've seen Captain Phillips, that last 10 minutes, the sense of humanity he brings to that role, he's better than anyone around. And Matthew McConaughey, the transformation he did, all of these. Robert Redford, that's actually the only film on this list that I haven't seen yet. Idris Elba, he's one of my personal favorites. So I think this list is really, really strong. But for everything that he brought, all the emotional depth and just literally stealing my heart in my chest, I would also go Chiwetel.
I haven't seen All Is Lost either with Robert Redford, so I can't judge his performance there. There is someone missing from this list that I wish was on here.
There's several missing.
Okay, there's one that stands out the most to me. Well, I mean, you could have Matthew McConaughey on here again for Mud as well, but they just chose Dallas Buyers. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan for Fruitvale Station.
What is wrong with that?
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Actually, I was going to bring that up.
How is he not on this list? I mean, I guess because it's strong, but yeah.
I mean, it's not like there are 4 or 5, or there are 3 or 4 really weak people on here that you'd be outraged by. But I'll admit, when I read the list, I just assumed Michael B. Jordan was going to be on
That's
here.
a snub.
I don't know that I call it a snub because
I do.
who obviously does not belong on this list?
I can't judge Robert Redford.
Right, but take that out of it for take the Robert. Does Tom Hanks obviously not belong on this list?
He always deserves on the list.
Does Idris Elba obviously not belong? Does Chiwetel Ejiofor? Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, does he obviously? No. So I can't call it a snub unless you can point out 2, maybe 3 obvious people who are on the list that have no place being there.
It's just disappointing.
I'm still surprised though. I don't
think it's a snub, but I do think it falls.
He should have been on that list.
I think it falls under like what I was talking about with Mud. You have Fruitvale Station, which is very pertinent to what's going on in America right now, and so I think it's something that the foreign press maybe just doesn't identify with.
It could be another one of the issues there.
I also think the reason why Robert Redford is on that list is because he was the single and only cast member in that entire movie. So to be the single only cast member and be able to carry an entire film says something.
It's like his Castaway.
Yeah.
I mean, I said that before about Ryan Reynolds for Buried.
I agree.
Like he deserved an Academy Award nomination for that. But anyway, we gotta hurry up here. We will go now for where are we? Best Actress for a Drama. Cate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Judi Dench, Philomena, Emma Thompson Saving Mr. Banks, Kate Winslet for Labor Day. Full disclosure, I have not seen Labor Day yet, so I'm gonna have to take that Kate Winslet's name out. For me, it's Emma Thompson, I should say. I know a lot of people are gonna go with Cate Blanchett, and that's absolutely not the wrong answer.
Yeah.
But for me, if I had the vote, it would be Emma Thompson for Saving Mr. Banks. Dennis?
I haven't seen a lot of these movies, so I would just have to go with Sandra Bullock, Gravity.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Blue Jasmine, though I've heard from everyone like, oh, she's the shoo-in, so.
If there is ever a shoo-in in my prediction, it's Cate Blanchett. She's Meryl Streep. Like, they are the epitome of what it is to have this raw talent, see not an inch of the actress in there. She's completely that role. This is one of Woody Allen's best films in a long time, in my opinion, and it's her movie. And she's such a tragically beautiful character, and she's just incredible. I was blown away by her performance. So to me, while there are some other great performers on this, and I have seen most of those lists, I would, no question, go Cate Blanchett.
All right, we're going to the Best Actor now, musical or comedy. Christian Bale for American Hustle, Bruce Dern for Nebraska, Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf of Wall Street, Oscar Isaac for Inside Llewyn Davis, and Joaquin Phoenix for Her. I'm actually going to surprise some people and say Christian Bale, American Hustle.
She was so good.
So good. I don't think it was as good of a performance as he gave in The Fighter, but it's spectacular.
Oh.
It's a really, really great performance. And here's the funny thing too. I don't know that I'd put anybody on this list in the Oscar category for Best Actor. I think it's all. I think it's all the list. Who would you knock off of the drama list to put in Bale?
Well, because I haven't seen Robert Redford's film, I say him.
I know, it's hard to say because we haven't seen it yet. Right? But so for me, it's Christian Bale. Amy Rose?
I haven't seen Wolf of Wall Street yet, but I'm still appalled that Leonardo DiCaprio has not won a Best Oscar for so I want it to be him because he's so talented and multidimensional. But Christian Bale, it's one thing to have a great performance. It's another thing to make a character memorable, and I think that's what he did with Irving. That is one of the best characters that has been written in a long time, and it's a true character, and I would definitely go with him, but I haven't seen her yet either. But again, this list is really strong, really great performances.
Yeah, wait till you see Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street.
I can't wait.
He is a memorable character.
He's always memorable.
Yes, he is. I actually thought he kind of got a little snubbed for last year for Django Unchained. I thought he was great.
He was
amazing.
And no nomination. I feel like a lot of times they just don't like him, Like even
the funny thing about Django was I thought there were two other guys in Django who deserved a Best Supporting Actor nomination more than Leonardo DiCaprio does. I thought Samuel Jackson deserved a Best Supporting.
He was amazing.
And obviously Christoph Waltz, who eventually won the Academy Award. So it's hard to put like 2 or 3 people from the same movie in the same category. But I see what you're saying.
That's what happened with Jeremy Renner and Bradley Cooper, too.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
I go for Oscar Isaac. No one's going for Inside Llewyn Davis, and I think Oscar Isaac's performance in that movie, beyond his singing, the hurt in his eyes, everything, totally Oscar.
So where are we? We are now into
Actress.
Best Actress, Musical or Comedy. We got Amy Adams, American Hustle, Julie Delpy for Before Midnight, Greta Gerwig for Frances Ha, Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Enough Said, Meryl Streep, August, Osage County. My really pleasant surprise that is on here is Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I didn't think anybody saw or remembered Enough Said. She's really, really good in that. But I wouldn't give her the win. I would give the win to Julie Delpy for Before Midnight, would be me personally. Dennis.
Yeah, Julie Delpy is great, and it's Before Midnight is like what was that? The third movie in this?
I think it's the third in this.
It's such a strange
series.
Yeah, it's strange. I would like to see her win as well.
Yeah, it seems to be a unanimous decision as much as these other performances. Wow, we're not going for Meryl Streep for the first time in her entire life. But yeah, great. I did not see Enough Said. I know that was James Gandolfini's last film, and I heard they had amazing chemistry in it. So I do really want to see that. But Frances Ha, I really enjoyed, and Amy Adams. She proves again that she can't be put in a box. She was amazing in American Hustle. I thought she brought a lot to that. But the role itself, I like Julie Delpy's character. I thought she really exposed a lot. So.
Best Supporting Actor. Now, once again, this is all-encompassing, not just drama or musical or comedy. Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, I know. Barkhad Abdi for Captain Phillips, Daniel Bruhl for Rush, Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave, Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. As far as I'm concerned, this is a 2-horse race. This is Michael Fassbender or Jared Leto. And I would personally give it to Michael Fassbender, but the sexy choice right now that I think people are going to be leaning towards is Jared Leto for Dallas Buyers Club. When we come to the Academy Awards, could be a different story. People love these Barkhad Abdi stories. This unknown guy from out of nowhere.
His first acting job,
and
too.
He killed it.
He did.
He killed it. But I've heard criticism though saying he's just like. There wasn't really a performance. He just went on there and read the lines, and that's who and what he is. And I think a lot of, particularly people in the acting community, may shy away from him. But I do believe it's a 2-horse race. Me, it'd be Fassbender. Dennis?
I think Jared Leto is going to win just because it's one of those much buzzed about performances, and it's
Look at that picture.
It's a transformation, and Hollywood loves the transformation.
They do.
Right.
Charlize Theron with Monster and a bunch of other movies. What's interesting is what. Daniel Bruhl on this list, Best Supporting Actor. He's like the main character in Rush.
I was going to say this is kind of like when they put Christian Bale in for Best Supporting Actor for Fighter, which was a fallacy because he was not the supporting actor.
He has a better shot.
He was a co-lead in that film, but anyway.
He has a better shot in the category. So
so they put him there.
I actually think this is probably the strongest. All the Best Actor too, but all of these performances were so incredible. Bradley Cooper, honestly, like I think this is one of his best performances. Like I liked it even more than Silver Linings. I thought he did great in Silver Linings, but I saw him acting it sometimes. But this one, like some of his most powerful moments were in his silent moments, and I loved it. So out of this list, I would just go shoe in Jared Leto. His transformation, you nailed it. They love when they transform. They love when beautiful people de-beautify themselves. And I just thought, like, you could not tell. For a second, I was like, whoa, that's Jared Leto? And he was completely committed to that role. But yeah, I do love this whole list. I thought Daniel Borat was fantastic. All of them. Michael Fassbender, he can be a real jerk. So yeah, good performances all around.
You know, it's a funny thing about Jared is that I was at a Dallas Buyers Club lunch the other week, and so we were having, it was Matthew McConaughey was there, and Mrs. Ben Affleck was there, who will be mine one day.
Your future ex-wife?
My future ex-wife. And Jared Leto was, and you know, I'm used to being in these types of events where, you know, McConaughey shows up and it's like all the girls go a little bit crazy. And they did. It's like, oh my gosh, it's Matthew McConaughey. But when Jared walked in the room, it's like all the oxygen got sucked out. And all the women who were in the room kind of lost themselves a little bit. There was a different vibe. Anyway.
He's a rock star now,
and he's a rock star, and a good rock star, actually. Anyway, the last category here, Best Supporting Actress, Sally Hawkins, Blue Jasmine, Jennifer Lawrence, American Hustle. It doesn't, I don't need to go any further. Sally Hawkins is going to win this, I believe.
Really?
I believe Sally Hawkins is going to win this. What do you guys think?
I didn't see Blue Jasmine, so I can't comment. I think Lupita, how do you pronounce her name? Nyong'o?
From 12 Years.
She was amazing.
Yeah, once again, kind of like the Captain Phillips thing. It's a great story.
It is a great story and a powerful film with a message. Jennifer Lawrence, I loved her in this movie. I thought she was hilarious, perfect timing, really held her own to most of the actors that are like 10 to 15 years older than her with, you know, like I just thought she was dynamic. I couldn't take my eyes off her, and her timing was just spectacular. I thought this was a very smart move for her career. But Sally Hawkins was great. Everything about Blue Jasmine, I mean, that's a character movie. So.
All right, folks, time to move on from the Golden Globes, and we're going to have to rapid fire this stuff because we're running behind schedule here, but it is time for Mailbag. Listen, if you've got a question or a topic you would like us to address on the show, you can email us anytime at amcmovietalk@gmail.com. We answer some questions here on AMC Movie Talk. We also have our weekend show, AMC Mailbag, that we do nothing but mailbag questions. So we're going to run through these really quick. Chris Lee's got the messages pulled out. So Chris Lee, what do we got?
Carlton Fist writes, greetings and salutations, guys. Big fan of your show, and I watch it every day. My question is about both the upcoming Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie and the upcoming Godzilla movie. As we all know, both movies are coming out in the same month, 2 weeks apart to be precise. In your guys' opinion, what do you think will reign supreme and make the most money? Thank you, guys, and keep it real.
We can't say which is going to be the better movie, but box office-wise, I don't believe there's any doubt. It's going to be Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
It's a sequel. The first one made $600+ million worldwide.
Chump change.
Godzilla is still a little more of an unknown commodity. If it's good, it's going to make a lot of money, but I think Spider-Man 2 undoubtedly.
Yeah, no, Spider-Man 2, Godzilla also is coming off the previous one that most people didn't like. So.
Right.
Yeah, the greatest pull is obviously Amazing Spider-Man because not only does it have fanboys, but it also has these hot young actors and like the classics like Paul Giamatti that my parents would go see it for. So yeah, I think it's not even going to be a close race, but I hope Godzilla's good.
All right, next question.
Marcus Lopez writes, hey AMC, greetings and salutations from Puerto Rico. I've been checking around my movie collection and I saw Starship Trooper. It's a good sci-fi and I think this movie would benefit on today's special effects. Is there any talk about a reboot, remake of this movie? Thanks.
Not that I know of, and I don't think it needs it yet because we just watched Starship Troopers again about a month or two ago when it was, when they do the Mystery Science Theater 3000 treatment to it.
Yeah, I forgot what
But
it's
anyway, it's
called.
fine. But you know what? The special effects for an older film surprisingly still kind of hold up. I don't know how much better the special, I mean, they would be better. I don't know how much better. So I haven't heard any talk of remaking it at this point, at least for a theatrical wide release. And I don't really think there's a need for one yet because I think it still kind of stands up. But eventually in the future, Amy Rose?
Definitely stands up. Do not need to touch this. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a satire.
Exactly.
You know, about war and propaganda and stuff like that. So the special effects, in a way, don't really matter as much.
No,
it's
movie. Almost better that they're not amazing.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
they did look fantastic
They did,
for the
they
time.
did.
Like, really great for the time. All right, what's next?
Bradley DeSartis writes, hey AMC Movie Talk, greetings from the Caribbean.
All
I
right.
watch your show every day. Now, before seeing Catching Fire, I saw this movie called The Starving Games, made by the same comedic geniuses who brought us such gems like Epic Movie and Disaster Movie. I tried to give it a chance, but by the time I saw The Expendables, the Na'vi from Avatar, and the Avengers making pointless cameos, I gave up watching. My question is, are parody movies dead? Are reference-filled comedies devoid schlock, like The Starving Games, the norm, or will we ever see a return to timeless classics like Airplane and Hot Shots? I'd love to know what you guys think about it.
They all suck today. They all suck. They're terrible. Gone are the days of great spoof movies like Airplane. Top Secret, I think, might be my favorite all-time spoof movie. Latrine! But there was also, what was the one with Charlie Sheen? Hot Shots.
Hot Shots.
And Hot shots Part 2.
Yeah.
They used to make some really great ones. Now they are...
Spaceballs?
I'm trying really hard not to swear. Spaceballs might be the last, one of the last great ones too, but
Spaceballs.
today they're just all these epic movies, disaster movies, date movies.
Scary movies.
What was the 300? Meet the Spartans. They suck.
Yeah.
They all suck. I really hope we get some good ones again, but now they are the epitome of lazy filmmaking, throwing any schlock. I think they're just awful today. I hope somebody comes out with a really good one again.
Even the 90s had decent ones, like Not Another Teen Movie, I thought was decent. Chris Evans, if people don't remember,
Yeah,
that's
that's
where he
right,
was.
yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny, and then even the first Scary Movie, I thought was funny. And then, you know, the first one. The third one is terrible, absolutely terrible. So, I don't know. I hope they're dead just because of the quality of them lately.
Yeah, Spaceballs for the win. I completely agree, and I feel like it's because of the actors. I mean, Leslie, he just Airplane, like amazing.
And Don't Call Me Shirley. I mean,
it's
it's
just
so
good.
great.
And I don't feel like they have that kind of nostalgia, and they're pulling from the teeny bopper community and opposed to these classic, great comedic timing actors. So I just think it's being lost in translation. I have stopped watching them a long time ago. And I love a good parody, but it's not working.
All right, what's next?
We're flying through these.
Oops. Fernando Mark writes, greetings and salutations, AMC Movie Talkers. Your biggest fan here. My question today is, since Hollywood is so keen in making prequels and origin stories, how would you feel if Disney was to make an origin story prequel to our beloved Lion King character Mufasa? On top of his wisdom and life lessons, it would be great to see how Mufasa became one of the most iconic and lovable characters in Disney. What are your thoughts?
Nope, don't need it. I love Mufasa, one of my favorite animated characters of all time, and we've got exactly what we need from him. I don't need to see how he came to be, to what he was. He is who he is in The Lion King. He is Mufasa. Don't need a prequel for it.
I'd watch it, but...
Oh, so would I.
I'd watch
I don't want to be
it,
hypocritical. I'd watch it.
and I'd be interested, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, agreement. But whenever I hear Mufasa, I think of Whoopi Goldberg and them going, Mufasa,
Mufasa, Mufasa, Mufasa.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary either, but I always prefer them to do a prequel or sequel opposed to actually rebooting a Disney movie like that. So yeah, I'd watch it, but I don't need it.
All right.
Ann Curtis writes, hey guys, so as we know, the other day you guys said that Hugh Jackman wouldn't want to play Wolverine again if the movie ended up bad. If Hugh Jackman doesn't return as Wolverine for Wolverine 2 or X-Men Apocalypse, who do you think should replace him? Honestly, like everyone, I don't want Hugh Jackman to be replaced, but we all know that he'll retire as the character eventually. So I think Karl Urban would be a fine choice to replace him. What do you guys think?
First of all, just to clarify, Hugh Jackman said he wouldn't want to do Wolverine again if the script wasn't good. Because obviously if the movie ends up being good, that means he was in it. So it's the script. But you know what? I know you were big on Karl Urban as a new Batman.
Yes.
I like this. I could totally see Karl Urban. Amy Rose just staring at his picture and saying,
he's looking at me. I can't help it.
and his new TV show is pretty good too. But I could actually, I'm not usually into these, hey, how about this big star to play a new role? But you know what? They said Karl Urban. I'm like, actually, yes. And isn't he Australian as well?
I think so.
I think he's Australian as well. So he could even have the same fake accent that Hugh Jackman does. And I would go for this. What do you guys think?
I think he would be good at it. And then on the flip side, I actually think that Hugh Jackman could play Bruce Wayne as well in Batman.
Oh, I think we talked about that one episode.
If we flip
I think
that,
he could have been a great
Karl
Batman.
Urban would make a good Wolverine. Take Hugh Jackman, the old Wolverine, make him Batman.
I would have been totally down for that. Amy Rose?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Karl Urban. Bones, Dread, like he's wonderful. And I do think that he's got that sarcasm, cocky sexiness to him that Wolverine needs to have, that Hugh Jackman has so brilliantly had, and also be a badass fighter and believable fighter at that. So yeah, I'm a big fan. And may I give you props yesterday for your Nathan Fillion Indiana Jones, because I could really see that as well. I thought that was really great. It's hard to play that game, you know, when someone has become this character. This is what's Jackman's 7th time playing the
8th, 9th, 10th, whatever. Yeah.
But
All
yeah.
right. What's next?
Michael Galliant writes, one of the first things that crossed my mind when the news hit that Disney bought Lucasfilm was about the Fox fanfare music. Do you think we'll still get to hear the famous Fox music, and do you think Fox will still get distribution rights? I think I would be okay if we don't get to hear the Fox music, but I'll miss it at first, of course. I've been hearing that as the intro since summer of '77 and just associate one with the other. Plus the fact that they're both in the same key certainly helps.
It does certainly help, actually. I've never even thought of that. No, there's no chance in hell. And I am going to miss it. When the new Star Wars, there's something magic. When you grew up with these films like we have, to go and sitting in that theater and you know you're about to see Star Wars and you hear that thrum-bum, thrum-bum, and the lights start to move. It is associated with Star Wars now in my mind. And we will miss it. No, Fox is not going to get the distribution rights. One of the reasons Disney bought Lucasfilm was so they could have all the production and distribution and all the rights in the universe to Star Wars. Fox will not be any part of it whatsoever, and we are not going to hear the fanfare, and I am going to miss it. I really, really am. What do you guys think?
I'm going to miss it as well. It's iconic, and you just feel like it's not a Star Wars movie unless it has it. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the way rights work.
It's a Pavlovian response. Yeah. Ring the bell, the dog salivates. For me, it's like I hear the Fox fanfare, and Star Wars is starting. Star Wars is starting, and I get excited. So anyway, Amy Rose.
Yeah, no chance. Studios don't cooperate that well together like that. And yeah, I'll miss it too, but I still think it's going to feel like a Star Wars film because we're in good hands here, and I'm excited to return to my galaxy.
It'd be like McDonald's coming out with a brand new burger and then putting a Burger King wrapper on it. Yeah. It's just not something they're going to do.
To piss off John, what you do is you play that music. He runs over to the TV, and it's the prequels. Why?
Why?
Shame.
Okay, what's next?
Kyle Cox writes, how's it going, sons and daughters of AMC? I know some people on this show aren't the biggest fans of zombie movies, but Dead Island movie? Anyone who saw the fantastic first trailer for the first game thought it had a great movie fell, and it was so good many people felt they had to buy the game. Your thoughts on a Dead Island movie? Thanks, bring on the filthy, keep up the good work, and someone buy John Schnepp a laptop.
Yeah, I actually don't think Schnepp owns a laptop. I thought, at first I thought he was just too lazy to bring it in, but now I actually don't think he has
It adds to his charm.
It adds to his charm. He's already got a wide abundance of charm. But no. Why do we need another generic, everything is the same zombie movie? Look, the Dead Island's a really good game, but as a movie, it should be the exact same thing as in every other zombie movie we have ever seen. There's an outbreak, people get bit, they die, they come back as zombies, and they start to hunt human flesh. Now there's a ragtag group of survivors running around trying to survive. I just described every zombie movie in the last 20 years. No, Dead Island, great game, don't want a movie. Brand recognition-wise, from a business point of view, it might make sense to make it. We don't need it. It would just be another zombie movie. Go watch Dawn of the Dead again. It'll be the same thing, except on an island or on a rooftop. Anyway, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I really like the game as well. But yeah, I don't need to see a movie. The game wasn't good because there was this awesome story behind it. Right. It was just fun because you ran around. It was kind of almost like a Fallout game. With zombies, and you ran around this giant island and picking up items and meeting with people, driving vehicles and stuff. So it was a lot of fun, but as a story, there was nothing there.
Hey, Rose?
I will admit that was one of the best game trailers that I've ever seen.
It was terrific.
It was
done in reverse.
Incredible. And it was emotional. The music, everything about it was a work of art itself. And I do really like the game as well. And I'm not over zombies, but I'm over zombies done wrong. And unfortunately, they really don't do it right a lot of the times. It's cheesier. We were talking about it yesterday. They don't show the kills. We want the kills. Come on. So, yeah, I don't think it's necessary. I'm usually a supporter of really good games being adapted into films because a lot of them do have really good narratives, but I don't think this needs to be turned into one.
Well, folks, we have run all out of time. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you making us a part of your day and talking movies with us. I want to thank, first of all, those sitting at the table with me. First of all, sitting to my right, the production manager of AMC Movie News, Mr. Dennis Zen. Dennis, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThinkHero and on YouTube, ThinkHero Pro.
And to his right, the editor of Movie News here at AMC Movie News, Miss Amy Rose Eisenbach. Amy Rose, where can people find you?
Am I getting promoted? Amy Rosie on Twitter. Thank you so much.
And of course, our lovely host over in her little gravity-like space capsule off in the nether, Miss Chrisley Kennedy. Chrisley, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Chrisley and on Tumblr, The Movie Chick.
And you can find me on the various social media networks just at John Campea. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name is John Campea for AMC Movie News, and until next time, bye-bye.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.